Hey y'all, my name is Nat. I hope you're having a terrific day today, and for this video I am going to be reorganizing my bookshelves, particularly my favorites bookshelf, because it's been quite a while. Alright, for starters, I guess I should get some stuff out of the way and actually show you guys all of the books on the shelf currently. Okay, we're gonna stand in this nice awkward position. Cool. Okay, so to start out, I have these four, which I actually haven't read any of them. They are in fact mostly up here because they are absolutely beautiful. It is crime and mystery short stories, Chinese myths and tales, Norse myths and tales, and then a collection of Lovecraft stories. Next, I have an edition of Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. This I know for sure is going to be staying up here because it's absolutely one of my all-time favorites. Next, this one might be hard to see, but it is The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. I recently reread this and I still enjoyed it. Thankfully, not really considered a favorite anymore, however, compared to like when I read it in high school. Then I have Looking for Alaska by John Green. This is actually a signed edition that my best friend Catherine got for me for my 22nd birthday, I think. Has been quite a few years since I reread this. Next is Turtles All the Way Down by John Green as well. This one is very focused on anxiety and OCD rep, which I thought was really awesome and wasn't something I'd ever read before. Next is a copy of Grimm's Fairy Tales from Barnes & Noble. It is also up here mostly because it's beautiful. Naturally, I do love fairy tales, but I wouldn't really consider this one a favorite. I also have The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. I've talked about this one time and time again as one of the first books I really would have considered a favorite from when I was in 7th grade. It's been quite a few years since I've reread it, but I do want to soon. Followed by that, I have the Truly Devious series by Maureen Johnson. I absolutely love these, but this is a trilogy and I'm trying to decide whether I want to include this up here because I don't have any other series since they take up more space. For example, the Charlie Davidson series is one of my absolute favorites, but I keep it in my closet because it's 13 books long and it would probably take up this entire shelf. I also have The Secret of the Old Clock by Carol Keene. This is the first book in the Nancy Drew series. I've had this one for a really long time. It's one of the original editions. On top of that, my dad and my grandfather were both horologists, which basically means that they worked on clocks. So Secret of the Old Clock, that book kind of means a lot to me just with that alone. I also have Stay Sexy and Don't Get Murdered by Karen Kilgariff and Georgia Hardstark. I've talked about this one a lot because I absolutely love the podcast of My Favorite Murder. This is a dual memoir slash guidebook to how to stay sexy and not get murdered. I love this one. It was so fun. It's probably one of my favorite memoirs I've ever read, so it's probably gonna stay put. Lastly, I have The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis. It's been a good while since I last reread this, but it used to be one of my childhood favorites, so I'm kind of on the edge about whether I want to keep this one up here or not. Shall decide on that. Okay, so I've pulled off all of the ones that I am kind of on the fence about keeping up here, and we're gonna go through some of my other reads which are in my closet, and I'm gonna decide if I want to put them on the favorites shelf or maybe if they're a contender at least. Hello from my closet. It is a little cramped in here, but we are gonna make it work. As I mentioned, I would love to put the Charlie Davidson series up there because it is my favorite, but this is technically 12 books. I lent the first one to a coworker and never got it back, and then I left that job, so. However, just looking at this first time through, another one I would consider putting up there would be The Extraordinary Adventures of the Athena Club, which is these three. I read these earlier this year and I absolutely loved them. They were so fun. I've talked about them so much on this channel, but again, a trilogy, that's gonna take up more room, so I'll put them as a contender for now. I think I'm gonna pull out contenders so they kind of, there you go, you can tell. Also, Get a Life, Chloe Brown. I really loved this book, but it's also going to be part of a, well, actually, I guess it's not technically a trilogy. It's like 3 companion novels, so I could pull that one out as a contender. I also have been seriously considering A Bad Day for Sunshine, and I'm hesitant because this is also a start of a series. And if I put this one up there, that means I have to continue to put the rest of them up there, and I'm worried that this will end up being the same as Charlie Davidson and be very long. So I am using this as a contender with the thought process that I would probably have to pull it off later, so it's lower on the list. One that I know is pretty much for sure is Moxie by Jennifer Matthew. I read this end of last year and I absolutely loved it. It is a YA contemporary in which this girl starts a feminist zine at her high school in response to all of the football guys getting away with a bunch of sexist jokes and comments in class while the girls are getting punished for dress code and things like that. I loved this book. It is set in a small Texas town that is obsessed with football, and as someone who is in a small Texas town and went to high school where football was treated like a religion, I could really relate. This was a fantastic read. I genuinely think everyone should read it. It was so good. It really can put you into the shoes of a teenage girl and showcase some of the sexism she deals with on a daily basis. I also really love that you actually get to see like the zines that she makes in the book as well. That's really cool. So this is a definite yes. I'm putting these up here. Angle us down a little bit so you can see. This is the second row. Technically, we're ending here because these are to be read and the rest of this is journals. One I think I do want to add, even though I'd be breaking up a series, is One of Us is Lying by Karen and McManus. I love this book so much. It's one of my favorite YA mysteries. I did enjoy the sequel, but I don't think the characters really hooked me as well as they did in this one. Loved Nate and Bronwyn. They were absolutely precious. They were so cute. And Addie has one of the best character arcs I've seen in a YA book ever. Really recommend this one. And it's going to annoy me that the series is separated, but this is definitely a favorite. That was a weird noise. Next one I automatically know is going up there is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. I'm sure you've all heard me gush about this at this point. It's such a fantastic romance book. I love it with my whole heart. My boyfriend bought it because I couldn't shut up about it, so this is going up there. Ooh, a possible contender is Circe by Madeline Miller. I loved this story. It's very much like a character study into Circe and watching her become the witch that we know from usual mythology and stories. Really interesting book with a very morally gray character. I love the writing in this, and I do really love the character study aspect, but I'm not quite sure if I consider this like an all-time favorite, so this is a contender. Do I need to even say anything? I gushed about this in my wrap-up and in the vlog where I read this. This was so amazing. It's so whimsical and magical and just transports you into this amazing world. The love story was so romantic, and I loved the way it was like they were courting each other by making these different tents and competing against each other at the same time. Ugh, the writing is amazing. It's going up there. I'm not surprised. Next, I know you're shocked. Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. Gushed and gushed and gushed in my reading vlog and my 5x5 and my wrap up. I had a very good reading month last month, so like 2 books that are getting added to my favorites shelf from last month. Pretty impressive. Next, I think I'm gonna do The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. Very similar to Moxie. I think this is another book that everyone should read. It's so powerful and poignant about issues in our country. It really puts you into the shoes of this young Black girl who is dealing with racism and microaggressions daily, and how she starts to find her voice and fight back against the injustices she sees. It's an amazing story. I think Angie Thomas told it absolutely beautifully. I cannot wait for Concrete Rose to come out, which is focusing on Star's father's story. So excited for that. Yeah, this is definitely going up there. I don't have any other graphic novels on my favorites shelf, but I do have my comics and graphic novels shelf, so I think these, which is Check Please, which I recently hauled in my October book haul video because my best friend bought me these. Okay, we're just having a time down here. So I think I'm gonna add these to my graphic novel shelf. That's not what this video is about, but it's happening. I think I'm gonna go through and add these up there and see how much room I have left. So we're gonna get to change positions and maybe come back in here. We'll see how this goes. All right, so we are putting these babies up here, and I have to go through and order them by author's last name. Popped We're okay, we're good, we're fine. I have to ask, how do you guys organize your bookshelves? Do you do like alphabetical by title, alphabetical by like the author? Do you do the like rainbow color thing? Are you more of a genres person? Like, how do you do it? I'm so intrigued. I have always been one of those people who organizes it by author. Guys, we still have room! Oh no. Oh no. I'm gonna put the Chronicles of Narnia back up here. Okay, so we probably have like room for 2 to 3 more. I think I'm gonna try for these 3. As I said, this one may eventually get taken off because it's a series and it's Dorinda Jones, so it could go on for a long period of time. We don't know yet. Okay, so there, that is my new favorites shelf. Woo! Gotta put the pops back. Also, if you are curious about my pops, I have Angel and Faith from the Buffyverse. I have Batwoman and Batgirl in the DC Bombshell style, and then I have Maka and Soul from Soul Eater. So, although all of my novels are by the author's last name, my comics actually go by the title, so gonna add these check pleases in. And I didn't knock over a single pop. Alright y'all, so I officially redid my favorites shelf. It is up to date. Yay! As I said, make sure to tell me in the comments down below, how do you organize your bookshelves? I'm curious to hear. As always, thank you so much for coming to my channel today, guys. I really appreciate it. Make sure to hit like and subscribe down below. I come out with videos on Monday and Friday, but until then, I hope you continue to have a terrific day. Bye!